Welcome, everyone. This is Clinton Donnelly from CryptoTaxAudit. We are the sponsors of Tax Shield, the only product out there that helps you protect yourself from the IRS. So go to cryptotaxaudit.com/tax shield and learn more about how you can stay safe from IRS audits and investigations. I'm really excited to talk to you today about a comment that Warren Davidson, who is a Republican congressman from Ohio, made. He said that we should just completely do away with the IRS. Do away with it. He says he's filed a bill in the Congress to do away with the 16th Amendment of the Constitution, which authorized income taxation by the federal government. He claims that the IRS is always weaponized by whichever party controls it, Republicans or Democrats. We go all the way back to Richard Nixon, who had his enemies list that he was using the IRS to target. And even in recent years, even Donald Trump, before he became president, was subject to annual audits by the IRS, aggressive, punishing audits that he had to put up with. And then later on, people sued to get his tax returns released. And then contractors working with the IRS illegally pulled his tax returns and published them on the internet. So weaponization can happen from the parties and from people working with the parties. What do you think? Is the IRS really always going to be a weapon for attacking political opponents? Well, we've seen this with even the Biden administration. Hunter Biden obviously had violated numerous tax filing requirements, failed to pay millions of dollars in taxes, but yet the DOJ under his father refused to prosecute it in a timely fashion, and he was able to escape being charged the way he should have been. And whistleblowers, namely Shipley and Ziegler, who recently got compensated for this, they were punished inside the IRS. They were IRS whistleblowers. They were punished by their management for having disclosed these things about favorable prosecution treatment. What do you think? Is that right? Should the IRS be able to have this power? And even recently, we've seen in the Roger Ver case where they aggressively went after someone who was an outspoken proponent of Bitcoin, and they aggressively attacked him using aggressive methods, recently settled. But, again, it's a tool of weaponization. I believe that the Trump administration has come in and said, we're going to take a light hand on a lot of this crypto stuff, and they have moved to settle quickly in more favorable terms with Roger Ver and to give the awards Shipley and Ziegler, who are the IRS whistleblowers. But I've got a better suggestion. I've got a better suggestion than Warren Davidson. He wants to repeal the 16th Amendment. To repeal or change anything about the Constitution, you have to get 2/3 of the states to agree. That's a multi-year proposition. It's a red state, blue state. It's not going anywhere type of proposition. Here's a different approach, and I think it's more reasonable and could become a reality. I believe we ought to radically slash the taxation rates. I believe we should utterly, completely do away with capital gains tax on digital assets. I think the tax rates should be slashed to substantially far less than where they're at. First of all, to make this happen, we have to slash the size of government. Government is bloated because we've allowed politicians to incrementally increase year by year how much they tax us. Radically slash it. And I think Donald Trump has the ambition to do this. We've heard Eric Trump in various platforms suggest doing away with the income tax altogether. Now, I'm talking about really doing away with it, getting rid of capital gains tax, taking income tax down to like 1913 levels, really small amounts. Why? The economy was great. It was firing on all cylinders. When you stop taking money from people, people invest that money in other companies. They go to stores, they buy cars, they have the money, they stimulate the economy. That in turn will drive more incremental revenue to the government, even at very small amounts. Plus, as we shift income to the government from internal revenue to external revenue from tariffs and other vehicles, then we spread the tax burden over more sources. And as we look at a society that is swiftly shifting to AI-driven, where there's less employment, you can't tax robots, right? So we have to diversify our tax regime. And I think this is one way to do it. And I believe we need to get rid of capital gains tax. And I've written to President Trump giving my expert opinion saying that we need to do away with capital gains tax because ultimately the IRS is incapable of tracking the capital gains on people who have high volume of transactions, not using centralized exchanges. It just becomes way too burdensome. The rules and regulations they put in place really are no more than a reinforcement of Choke Point 2.0. But what do you think? I need to hear your thoughts. I need to hear your opinions. Do you like this type of content? Please like, subscribe, and follow. Give us your comment. We'd like to react to that and give you our thoughts. Thank you very much. And remember, CryptoTaxAudit, the #1 company in the US for calculating capital gains on mid and large size traders, preparing tax returns that protect you from the IRS, and our tax shield product, which is the leader in protecting people from audits. Thank you very much and have a great day.